Well, you didn't expect this now, did you? A proper background. Well, I had it since my stream last week. Well, didn't see it. Um, anyway, on to this month's mini. The Empress. Oh wait, I can't do an Empress Children. I've already done one for the free mini of the month. Ugh. All right, just, come up, just be right back. Alright, let's see here. No, 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 that's what you painted. No, no, probably not. No, 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 definitely not. No, no, no. Aha! Oh, wait, I'm back. Time for the elf. Before we start, use Colourforge matte black over the entire model, while keeping the shield off the model. Now, onto the painting. Here are all the paints we'll be needing for the main base step, so let's begin once you've gathered them all. Begin the basing with Dryad Bark. Use this over all of the red planks that can be found on the back of the shield. Follow it up with Resplendent Red over the entire trim of the cloth, as well as any decals found on the shield. Now for all the main cloth as well as any crescent moons found on the model. Begin with this base as Company Grey over all of it. Make sure to do a few thin coats for full coverage. Then clean the handles, leather and shield backgrounds with matte black. Do try to be careful when doing the cleanup. Before the metallics, apply a couple layers of Kronos flesh over the face and any visible skin. Onto the metallics, starting with greedy gold over all the plate mail, the feathers and even any visible trim on the entire model. And finish the remaining armor and weapon with Grey Knight steel over it all. Once all of that is done, we can start working on shading the model. Time for the shading now. Only a total of 5 shades are needed, so gather them up and let's continue. Start shading with Targor Rage Shade. You only need to use this for the wooden details. Next is the bright red. Carefully shade it with Cassandora Yellow. If you go over any lines, clean and dry the brush, then use it to pick up any mistakes. Now for the blue steel and white cloth. Using watered down Drakenhof Nightshade, go over both areas, excluding any moons. I would recommend using a 1-to-1 mix of medium rather than water. After that, use Reikland Flesh Shade over all of the gold and carefully over the face. Continue on with a final shade of Soulblight Grey over any moons found on the model. Again, be careful when applying the shade over it. Once it's all done, you can start layering. The layering step is as simple as the base step really. Here is all the paints that you'll be needing. Once you've gathered them all up, let's continue. To start, layer on some Commander Khaki over the wood. You don't need to do this step if you don't want to, as the detail can be quite hidden from the rest of the model, but if you're just painting for like the likes of art, then go ahead. All that red trim next. Using Chaucer Orange, carefully go over all those details. While it is still on your brush, use it to add in some very fiery energy into his eyes. Yeah, I still hate painting eyes. Onto the black now. Edge highlight the areas with deep grey, but while using this paint, add some small marks on the black of the shield just to show some battle damage. Time to finish the robes. Using Brigade Grey, apply it on the edges of the light grey cloth. Be careful as to not get any on the other parts. After that, finish the matte paints with Ares Flesh, using that on the highest points on the face and visible skin. Once all that is done, you can begin on the final metallic paints. Begin the metallic step with Gemstone Red, applying it carefully over the areas with the obvious placement for gems on them. Try to be careful when going over the armor to avoid overspill. And finally, apply Shining Silver over the gold and steel details carefully. While using this paint, add a small dot of the paint onto the gems, just to show a reflecting light effect. Once that is done, it's time to do the base. Now for the base. I have used a grassland design, using a darker shade for the grass to make it not look like Bretonnia. So gather up the paint and grass up, and we can continue finishing the model. First, use the texture paint. I used Sterling Mud. Try to be careful when applying the mud near the feet, as high elves are usually cleaner than most humans. Stipple on some Gung Ho Green, going over some spots on the mud. Be careful as to not get any on the elf once more. Shade over the ground with Torgor Rage Shade, going over all of the base, including the green. Using Commander Khaki once more, carefully dry brush over the highest points of the base. Once it's all dried, reposition the model on the handle in order to paint the rim. For the rim, simply apply matte black over the entire rim, then let it dry in case you need to do another coat. Once that is all done, all the painting is done and you just need to add one more thing. That one thing being a grass tuft. I chose mixed green 6mm from Gamer's Grass. Simply attach it onto the base, then apply a tiny amount of super glue onto the hand and stick the shield on, giving you this. And there you have it, a High Elf Lord ready to send the forces of chaos back to where they came from. Thank you for watching, and sorry that it felt weird or too short. It was mostly because I had a plan, but then it got ruined by Games Workshop when they did the free media of the month. I really should have expected that, because it's a new army. But oh well, not much I can do about it now. But I have some news. The next free media of the month will arrive later than normal during the estimated time that the model will come out, because I will be on holiday for a tournament. So after that holiday, he'll be right back to work for me.